GM construct. What is this? Oh. I see. So you want me to make a video about this? Well, I guess I don't have much of a choice. This is the first version of GM Construct. Made before the spawn menu was a thing, it is a fairly simple map. Well, it couldn't get much simpler than this, to be honest. But still, it does what it's supposed to. The map includes a panel with a bunch of buttons that spawn various props, such as ragdolls or other objects. There are also a few random things placed in the map, which include a fishing spear, the letter U, a dumpster, a bicycle, and a couch. I don't know why they're there, and I don't really want to ask. You might be wondering what's in that corridor by now. And well, to tell you the truth, it's nothing. There are just a bunch of buttons with images on them that don't seem to do anything at all. But keep your eyes on that corridor, because it'll later become the warehouse room. All that's left on the map is all this empty white space that seems to be there for no purpose at all. Happily, in the next version of GM Construct, the entire map gets a sleek texture makeover. Now it's finally starting to look like an actual map. The only difference between the first map and this one, really, is just the placement of those random objects. The U is now in the dumpster rather than next to it, and the fishing spear is outright gone. On to the next one. Now this is where the map starts to get its familiar shape. A new empty section was added, which I assume is the main playground of the map. Also, a new spawner has been added that creates building blocks, similar to the plastic builder props that we have in the new version of Gmod. A garage was also added with 2 cars inside of it. The next version we have brings us the most exciting updates. A 3D skybox featuring low quality mountains. There are also a few blocks in the distance with a brick texture over them, which I assume are supposed to be buildings. While they don't look very good, they get the point across, even though there's no point to get across. 2 major changes have been made on this map, and those are the addition of the catwalk and the water area. The catwalk makes the empty middle area look much better, and it was definitely a good idea to be added. The water area looks much more like a pool rather than an artificial lake like it is in the final version. Nevertheless, it's starting to look good. Now, this is by far my favorite old version of the map, because it's finally starting to resemble what you can actually call a GM construct. One of the walls in that empty space I mentioned earlier has been transformed into a building which we can all recognize. It features 4 square holes in the ceiling, some random concrete beams, and a dark room. The water area has been completely opened up, and the catwalk is now extending above the lake, which now looks more like a lake than a pool. The miscellaneous spawner has been removed, possibly because a spawn menu has been added in the version of Gmod that features this map. The building block spawner, however, wasn't removed. The next version comes mostly with skybox changes. The isolated mountainous area has been swapped for a flat residential area inside a city, with just a few high buildings. Other changes include the addition of 2 new rooms in the recently created bunker, a black room and a white room. That's pretty much it. The next one brings us grass sprites and displaced terrain, which makes everything look more natural. The 3D skybox has also been subject to a few changes, and the bunker has gotten a new door on its lateral side, and, of course, its lovable diagonal roof holes. Wait, does anyone actually care about some holes in a roof? Anyways, the last change is the removal of the corridor near the spawn area in order for the garage to be extended and have a few more vehicles in it. Cool. Next. The terrain is less displaced than before. The garage was again further extended, now spanning the width of the entire wall. The 3D skybox was also changed once again, adding to the environment the very well known tall buildings right next to the edge of the playable map. The texture of the bunker's room was updated, now looking better than ever. The dark room was also changed, it's now much larger than before and has a nice little poster inside of it. This new version is by far one of the most significant ones in terms of changes, because the garage finally became the warehouse building. Besides that, the elevated platform above the lake was also added, which is great because it completes all the criteria made up by me to qualify this as a true GM construct. Oh, and the new room was added to the bunker, in which you can find various randomly colored lights for some reason. Now, we have finally reached the Gmod 12 version of the map. This is the one that I will always remember because I grew up with it. Most changes here are about the feel of the map. This is also the first map that featured the coloring room that we still have to this day in Gmod 13. This map gave birth to the most popular videos and its design is notorious. Anyone can look at this image and tell you that this is indeed GM construct. So this is pretty much it. These are all of the steps this map took to get where it is today. So much love was put into it, and I'm happy to have been able to witness it. Now, can I go home? Oh, you've gotta be fucked.